Welcome back to day 2 of Radio Free FreedoniaCon 2026. We have several people with us right now for James's second art stream. Art Adventures in the Fourth World, which I thought was a really cute name. James with us, we have Miss Debbie, who helps with editing and has gone way, way, way beyond that and is taking on books and all sorts of leads. And Josh, who most of us know by now, because he's great and has been here since the beginning of 4th edition. So I was just saying to Debbie that Matthew W. Socrates actually is the gentleman who helped us with the art for the new novel omnibuses. And I think this is the first time that James and Matthew have actually spoken like with words at each other, not typey. So as part
that
of
might very well be correct. I think there might have been one conversation on Discord, but I don't even think it was omnibus related.
So
anyway, not relevant. Sorry.
It's okay. As part of our thank you, I asked if he could be one of James's character art for the con, and James graciously agreed. So this is from the very start. Like, you don't know anything. Matthew hasn't told you anything yet, right, Matthew?
That is correct.
All right, I'm going to let you two have it.
I've had with this character with you.
Oh, right. I know a lot of the stuff. I just don't tell James because I'm a jerk. All right, when you're ready, James, get your screen up, and I will let you ask Matthew about his character.
All right, sharing the old screen. There we go. It should be incoming. All right. So, Matt, please take us away. What is the character we're looking at today?
This was a character that I made in 2nd edition. I very much wanted to do something that was just not your typical Pseudonym. And so what his history was when he came out of the Scourge, he happened upon an orc tribe, and he basically picked up a lot of things from them. Unfortunately, since Pseudonym back in 2nd edition couldn't be cavalryman, he went the multi-class wizard warrior, and he picked up trick writing skills. And so the mount that, yes.
Okay.
And so he picked up a mount of a dyer, and he also made the dyer his familiar.
Okay. I think for our purposes today, since we only have 2 hours, I would love to focus on the Obsidian. So what's their name?
He goes by the name of Mitt.
Mitt?
Yes.
Excellent. And tell me about Mitt, because the Obsidian normally have that sort of very sort of refrigerator-like build. Does he have the classic Obsidian build, or what does he look like?
He has the classic Obsidian build.
Okay.
He has also a rider's shield. One of his main weapons is the lance. And he does have some robe-like clothing, but not a lot.
Okay. And what else? What sort of attitude should Mitt have as we're drawing?
Because he spent a lot of time with the orcs, he has a little bit more in your face life mentality.
Okay.
He doesn't do a lot of things slower. He tends to be, let's act first and then think about it later.
Sorry, he tends to be less act first and think about it later. So he's
Um, he's more of a let's do the thing first, and then let's talk about it after the fact that it's already done.
okay. And when you imagine sort of the uh, rocky nature of his skin, um, what is he? What does he look like for you? Because I've experimented in the past with giving like them obsidian like little rocky formations like on their head to sort of simulate what a, I guess sort of a hairstyle might be for them. What is his? What does he look like?
Um, that is a good question.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we're sort of establishing this as we go, that's also great. Because I think if you an easy trap to fall into would just be to sort of do him like the thing from Fantastic Four, for instance, which is, I mean, it's a direction to go. It depending on how you feel about it. Does he wear anything? So he has a little bit in the way of wizard robe type clothing. He has a rider shield. He has a lance. he's he's sort of culturally very attuned to orcs, um, and so right now I sort of got him, you know, head tilted down here a little bit, maybe a slightly aggressive posture, the way like an orc or a wild animal might like lower their head before they're ready to pounce or charge, maybe. I guess that's
Um,
me. That's me asking anything. You
yeah.
tell me what to.
I would say because um, he was in an environment that speed was the most important thing. He would have probably tried to sand down any of his rough edges to be more aerodynamic.
Okay.
And so, and yeah, his like the robe-ish type thing is more like leather than like flowing robes or anything like that, because he's trying to mimic more of the orc style of clothing.
Okay. So when you say robe, you don't necessarily mean like a wizard's robe.
No, I mean that is correct.
Okay. But it's also not armor. Or is it armor?
It's not really armor.
Okay. Is it strappy? It's like sort of like what we got going on here. Does it have like larger pieces that are
I would say more like strappy.
just just a little more to the side? Give more of a 3/4 view. Maybe, I don't know, is it fair? Could we give him like a little bit of a uh if we're thinking aerodynamics, could we give him a little bit of a fin shape on top of his head, or just like no, that's not really a thing?
Not really a thing.
All right. Now we say he had sort of an obsidian build, so he's very broad. And does he have
About medium.
a medium? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then the overall impression, then, if he's not bulky, is he built like a runner or an athlete? Like how is he put together?
I would say like a little bit of a bulkier athlete, not like a full bodybuilder, but like he's definitely lean, but he has muscle on him.
Okay. And I do need you to stop me if something starts looking looking wrong.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will just start going off in crazy directions.
No problem.
So you made this character in second edition.
Yes.
So he's been adventuring for a while.
Um, the group that I was with him stopped a while ago, so
Mm.
not really. When I did stop playing him, one of the reasons why I did stop playing him it was because I was afraid of getting the rest of the party killed.
Okay.
Well,
Why?
with the warrior and the wizard, I was able to help my warrior out with my wizard, and then with um, the familiar rules, if I was charging on someone, they would just die. And with the amount of things that I could do to soak damage, in order for the GM to like make it challenging to me, he would wipe out the rest of the party if it went after them instead of me.
Let's see. All right.
James and I were talking last night about what a great help it was having you work on us with the novels and give James ideas of what scenes would be best. So I really wanted to thank you. But James and I were talking about it last night. Mostly James was telling me how great it was. So
It's true.
That was a lot of fun. And it was also very satisfying in finally being able to read the two novels that I had been trying to read since they were supposed to be published.
did it make it feel
So
more
that was
complete?
yes. Yeah, because I read the third novel from Shadowrun point of view, and I actually played in the adventure that was right after that novel. And so it was always like well, I know the novel, I know the Shadowrun adventure after this, but whatever happened to it in Earthdawn? Yeah. I also put in for the main chat the stone that I figured he was going to be apart from. So I know one of the last times I saw you draw, you took an image and I'll add that to it. So
Absolutely. Sorry. Now I'm just looking for the main room chat. I'm weirdly
If you
very
open it up,
bad.
it's like to above.
Yeah, I'm like weirdly terrible at navigating Discord. There we go. Put that in there. Excellent. So sort of a sedimentary sandstone type deal.
mhm.
Very cool.
There we go. I knew I wrote down everything. I was trying to remember what it was. Yeah. He does have a normal traveler's garb. He does have Fernweave armor.
So he does have what armor?
Fernweave.
Fernweave. All right.
Yep. And he had a great broadsword and also a great whip.
So I'm having trouble. For some reason, I'm having trouble hearing things today. A great broadsword and a great whip.
Yes.
Ah, okay. How are we doing so far? Again, I'm just sort of messing around with shapes right now. So if
I do like that.
excellent.
Yeah.
So I mean, you mentioned the lance. I was sort of imagining maybe the lance could do something like that. But that would be challenging to fit into our frame here, and I don't want to make them like super small just to include the length of the
Yeah.
lance.
Yeah, his main weapons that he carries is the broadsword and the whip. The lance he tends to leave on the dagger itself.
Okay. So broadsword. Would he have it like strapped to his back? Would it be in his side? It could be in his hand. That's his right hand there. Yeah. Have it go the other way too. That's
I would say probably strapped to his back.
I thought the whip was cool because you don't see that very often.
Maybe we could do with him. So he's holding the whip in both hands, maybe.
Do you see that very often in doing your commissions, James?
A whip. I think I've done one other character with a whip, and then there's been a couple of spiked chains. But no, not a ton of them, that's for sure.
Yeah, he mainly used the whip to try to entangle and then drag as the dagger kept on running. So more of a utility than an actual just a damage weapon.
James, will it distract you to ask a technical question?
No, please go ahead.
How are you changing the colors, if you will? They're not really colors, but I guess depth of shade.
So I'm using the basically it's the picker tool, the hotkey for the picker tool. So somewhere in here is the eyedrop. I never ever use the eyedrop, so I don't actually know where the button is. That might be it. Nope, I don't. To affect the brush adjustment layer to be created. Anyway, Alt is the hotkey. So you see how the icon changes to the eyedropper. It lets me pick, like tap on a color, and then that becomes the drawing color.
Oh, interesting.
So that's what we're doing here. So it lets me get these sort of half tones as I ease up. If I press hard and then ease up and then press hard, it lets me get some of these half tones so I can start.
Oh. Yeah. It looks like magic to me.
It's a techno magic. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I agree. It is magic.
Here's a question: How much are how much are obsidian affected by temperature? As I draw obsidian, I'm always sort of wondering to myself why obsidian would wear clothing if it wasn't for. I mean, is it because they're affected by temperature? Because I feel like they wouldn't be affected by temperature as much as like some of the other player races.
There's nothing specifically in any of the rules that they have a huge advantage in that regard, but where they have 3 points of natural armor, that would presumably give them some protection to temperature in some regard.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it's probably, I mean, so it's probably a little bit, but not hugely significant. Like they would probably still want to wear warm clothes up in the high mountains and stuff like that.
Sure.
I have a weird question. I've always thought about like if they wouldn't scar, do they just hit cracks? I don't remember ever reading anything that specifically said.
Well, if I recall, like obsidian, like they have stone like skin, but their skin is not actually stone, so it might be able to scar over like actual flesh.
Yeah, I would treat it similar to like rhino or elephant hide in that regard. Like it's really tough and has the appearance of kind of stone, but it's still skin. It's just really tough
So
and
it would
thick
scar.
kind of. Yeah, I wouldn't see any reason why it wouldn't.
So Matthew, does your obsidian have any scars or rock tattoos? Rock tattooing's a thing, I'm sure.
Well, I love the idea. For what it's worth, if their thick is if their skin is sort of extraordinarily thick, I thought it'd be cool, like carving. They could probably like carve stuff into them, and that. Anyway, I thought that would be cool. If I were an obsidian
Scarification?
designer,
Yeah.
I would try to carve designs into myself. I think I would get bored like writing on yourself in class.
Kind of a 3-dimensional tattoo.
Yeah.
It's called scarification. It's where they cut the design in. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, for him, he wouldn't have done the scarification, but he would have done like body painting.
Right, that's a thing that we can get to. What sort of designs would he have?
Probably as best of like probably animals, like specific like horses and things like that. Like probably the old like cave paintings of
That's
like
what I was
of
gonna
the
say.
buffaloes and things like that.
Like the old cave paintings. That would be fun.
Yes. Also, with regard to clothing for Obsidian, you figure they also partially do it to make other people feel more comfortable. Because I mean that's the reason why they do male and female presenting is to put other name givers at ease. So even though they could walk around naked at all times, I think they don't do it because of that.
So I would love to give. He's got a bit of a Silver Surfer vibe going on right here, which I'm not super digging. Unless you like it, in which case I'm on board. But I would love a way to try to exaggerate some of his features. Does he have like a long or a short nose, a wide mouth, a great big jaw, or what sort of facial features should he have?
I'd like to have like a wider nose. I think that would be good. And then a big smile.
He's smiling. All right.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing about.
Because he loves life.
Oh, so he's like a legit happy smile, not like a confident I'm about to kick your ass kind of smile.
I feel like he's a thrill seeker. He's an adrenaline junkie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely got a lot of perspective from the orcs that he lived with.
So when you smile, you actually change the whole shape of your jaw. So we'll
And then also one major piece that I've just remembered that I have. His spell book is actually a coil of rope that he knotted that he wears kind of like a bandolier.
okay.
Because he can't really write too finely, so he did all of his spell in like knots on the rope.
Okay. On the rope. So and it's coiled around him. Is it? You said like a bandolier,
Yes.
so it'd be sort of like that.
Mhm.
All right. Now, how long is this? Is it wrapped around like a couple times?
I would say it'd be like about a 50-foot thing of rope. So, and it had full of knots on it.
Right. Okay.
Um, how I figured he uses it is kind of like, you know how like they have like the monks with like the beads and they're like constantly like thumbing the beads?
Sure.
That's what he would be doing with the knots.
How thick is this rope? Apparently, I'd envisioned it quite thick.
Um,
We can make it thinner.
Ask me a major rope question. I would say probably like maybe like a half an inch thick.
Okay, so we'll need to thin some of these down a little bit. Or
And you figure since he's like 7'6", would look thinner on him.
Right. All right. So what was one of Mitt's most notable adventures, encounters, scenarios?
Um, that is a good question. The adventuring group that he was a part of, the game took place instead of like the normal 100 years after the Scourge, everybody came out of Scourge. It was more closer to like 40 to 50 years. And so the group that he was a part of was actually part of effectively a traveling circus. And the group was trying to bring joy everywhere they went to. But also because of the darkness, it was definitely not all fun and games. So, say that again?
I said it sounds admirable. Just wanted to bring joy.
Yes. I think most of the other party members were more of like trying to more of like just survive and get money, where he was the one who was more trying to bring joy than anything else. So I know one of the ventures he went on, they found a town that was actually taken over by a horror, and they had to fight the horror and the construct to free the town.
Did that happen? Like you were mission successful?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, we actually. That was like one of the first adventures that I realized what a full charge with a mount and a familiar could do. And so, yeah, we were able to take out the horror constructs relatively fast. Yeah, because in second edition, they made it so that as you gained legend points, your mount effectively got legend points, and you were able to increase them with it. And for like every effectively level the mount got, you were able to raise its steps by like 1, and also the durability. So I mainly was raising the strength of the dyer, which then also translated for every time that I charged, I got to also use the strength of the dyer to hit, or to do damage with.
Yeah,
So,
that is crazy strong.
as if for the people,
Yeah.
for the people who are mechanically inclined, I bet you that's really impressive.
Well, you figure I more than doubled his strength every time he charged.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you figure for the normal mechanics, everybody as an adept can raise up their step by 1, and I was effectively raising a step up every level. And we were playing around 5th circle. So, yeah. Plus the dyer is also more stronger than Obsidian to begin with. So, yeah. This was definitely the one character that I made that was definitely, let's see how much damage I can make the rules let me have. And then he had the Wizard Iron Hand, which I think added another 3 steps of damage. So. But with that, I tried to always make him happy, and he was always the person that charged in to help save any of his teammates, or anybody else for that matter, actually. I think I got the group into a lot more fights than what we needed to because I kept on charging in to save somebody.
So you're the DM's dream player. You don't need a lot of motivation to go on to go on the adventure.
Oh no! Like, oh, someone needs saving. Okay.
So yeah, I'll just check in. How are we feeling? How's the vibe with Mitt here? Are we capturing it at all? What needs to?
I do like it. I think you are definitely capturing the vibe.
Excellent. Okay, that's what that's what I was waiting for. I was like, are we capturing the vibe? I like it. I'm okay. Excellent. But how's the vibe?
Yeah.
I don't know if this would be a criticism or not, but it looks like he's got buck teeth to me. Is that supposed to be lip there?
That's meant to be a highlight on his bottom lip. We're gonna get into we're gonna get into the details a little later. We're trying to capture the like I said the overall vibe first.
Okay. That's the good thing about the electronic drawing is it's easy to fix things, right?
That's well, I mean
That's true, but I don't think that this is a fix. I think it's just that we haven't gotten there.
Yeah, it's the privilege of the undo button.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I go through I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I can't stare at a screen anymore. So just like, just give me paper, give me a canvas, give me something, other than glass under my hand. And that never lasts super long because I start missing the undo button real fast.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that I would say is a major part missing is the dyer. But I don't know if we're going to be able to get that level of detail into this, so.
Well, the dyer, do you have a reference image or something I could look at? We could certainly see. But yes, with a 2-hour time slot, we tend to have to prioritize a single subject.
Maybe it could be part of his body paint if he had a small painting on his body of the dyer.
Yeah,
I'll get you a reference.
It could be a cave painting of a dyer.
Yeah, why on the bicep instead of like a heart for your mom? Put a little painting of the dyer. That would be kind of fun.
So, I mean, cave paintings are close to my stick figure, so maybe that wouldn't be so bad. Or so hard to do.
We'll ask Andy to do it while
I could,
truthfully,
I could make a stick figure dire wolf. Think I can.
Well, this is a dyer, not a dire wolf.
Oh.
Yeah, let me get you a picture of that.
Okay. I have a pencil. It has lead. We are halfway there.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to those ropes. That's going to be a lot of time-consuming detail.
You said you're not looking for the rope?
No, I'm not
forward
looking
to
forward to the ropes. That's going to be a lot.
Oh.
That's going to be a lot of. This is going to be time-consuming. That's all right. We'll find a way to make it work.
All right, did you find a picture?
Yeah.
There we go. That's easy. There we go.
Oops, I put it in the wrong chat.
That's right. I see it. It's Oh no, I beg your pardon. I thought I see what Debbie posted.
Yep, that was the picture that I was grabbing. Yeah, that's the nice thing. If that is almost a stick figure waiting to happen.
Give me just a second. All right, drew you.
The two large horns. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because it's a triangle and a couple of ovals. This is easy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now for the rope.
See? I got you, James.
That's pretty good.
Looks perfect.
Yeah. If you wanted to, James, since he kind of is supposed to have fern weave armor, if you want to like put like more like plant things over it to like hide the detail a little bit, that would not be a bad thing either.
So for the I might need a reference image for fern weave armor as well.
Think poison ivy, but on a man. It tends to basically look like plants have wrapped around, so it's very up to your imagination. Because let's be honest, it's basically a magical type of thing. So yeah. You know, leaves and vines. Unless Matthew wants to.
Yeah, just leaves and vines. Yeah, I figured the leaves and the vines would be a lot easier to do than the rope details.
That's right. Foliage has its own special kind of magic as well. So we're just gonna embrace it. We're just gonna have fun here.
Yes.
I love my co-host, Lady Styx, and she's also our glorious office ogress. She said that mine looks just like it.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty cool looking.
I like your eyeballs.
I like your eyeballs too. Oh, you meant James's. Silly me.
Oh yeah, and the nice thing is he does have black eyes, so
Wow. Excellent.
you don't have to do much to it.
Okay, but now I've got that whole half evil face thing going, James.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to make black eyes look like a good guy.
Well, I mean, like the pupils are black, so I mean, you can make like normal eye, just the
Oh, I
pupil is
see.
black.
Excellent.
So you can have a little bit of white showing.
Yeah.
Okay. If you weren't here last night, Dawn brought up this thing about evil face, good face, or something, and I had never heard of this, but apparently it's a thing.
It is. You take almost any photograph, any painting, any person, and almost everybody will have one side of their face that looks like a good guy, and one one side of their face that looks like a bad guy, an evil person.
I've never heard of that before.
Do I still have? I do. We did it last night with this fellow, and
Oh, nice.
we covered half of his face. I was like, this was his good half. It was just, he's
Yeah.
just a guy. We covered the other half of his face. I was like, oh nope, there's the evil side. He looks a lot angrier.
That is amazing. I always am amazed about how many optical illusions things there are, and how you can look at something and swear that it's one thing, and then you just change the angle of it and it looks like something completely different.
It's true. Our senses, they are very easily deceived.
Yeah.
All right. Does he have anything on his hands? Should he have like gauntlets or something?
Um, he would probably like have like just like normal wraps, just to give like kind of like bracers made of leather. More decoration than anything else.
Things.
So, what's your favorite memory of this character? Like when you think about him, what's the scene that always pops to mind?
He was always more of the caretaker of the group than anything else, making sure that everybody was well fed, well protected. So,
But is there a
yeah, he was.
particular like time that when you think about it, that's what I think, or just as is a general, just when you think about him, it's a general sense of how he wanted everyone else's well-being.
Yeah, that was more him just trying to make sure everybody was all protected and well cared for. Yeah, the because we were playing closer to the end of the Scourge than normal time frame, um, the the campaign was pretty dark, and so every time he got to be more making sure everything was safe was always a good feeling to make sure that we did, because a lot of people died in that campaign for like all the NPCs and things like that. So whenever I could keep everybody alive, it was a good day.
Sounds like he was a very sweet character
He tried to be.
when he wasn't jumping feet first into the fire.
So, you also mentioned a rider's shield. Can I get some more information on that?
He normally used the vital shield when he was on the dire mount. So,
All right, we can leave it off.
yeah. One less detail you have to worry about. I definitely like the whip. I find that very nice.
Okay, so I get. I'll check in before we start diving into details. How are we doing with the general vibe? Is this feeling good for you?
I am definitely feeling good.
Excellent. Let's start diving into just a little bit of detail then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the more and more I look at them, the more and more I realize that Obsidian are not normally shown smiling. They're normally very stoic.
That's true. I think they're sort of famously very stoic. It's
Yes.
almost like a racial feature.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I get to see you draw, I am still utterly amazed.
You should have been here last night. It was awesome. Like he just
I was in.
whoosh. It was so cool.
Yeah.
You
I
can
was
watch
in
it on
Debbie's game,
YouTube.
so
You can
yes.
watch it on YouTube though. I even have it up already. So you can't watch it
Oh, nice.
yet because you should be in here and you can watch that later. But it is, as far as I can tell, up on YouTube already. That's why I didn't get to go to bed as early. We got done with Jackbox games around 10:30, 10:45, something like that. But I was then loading
Central?
the other two. Sorry?
That Central Time?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I think
You're Eastern,
that was
I think.
close to what time. Say that again?
I think you're Eastern, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 10 to 11 when we finished up. Central.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, how do we find it on YouTube? Do we search for FASA or Freedonia or what?
It's on FASA Games Inc.
Mhm.
We have our own YouTube channel.
Okay, then.
There's even a playlist. I think you can watch them individually, but it's also on the Freedonia playlist. So any of the other
Okay.
previous FreedoniaCon stuff, if you wanted to watch any of it, it's all there.
Okay.
What I didn't have trouble with, I think it was last year or the year before, Josh, do you remember? That like half of it didn't record properly. This would be a good time for me to clean my desk, wouldn't it? Let's see, things on my desk. So far, in plain view, 8 sets of dice, including my magnetic ones. The Deck of Wonders After Dark edition. We will not discuss the rest of the pens and notebooks. All right. But yeah, no, there was one, it was either last year or the year before, that just, like, half the recordings didn't record properly and were ruined. So, this year I am hoping not to have that problem. So what I'm in part doing is I'm not going to try to upload until all the recording's done for the day. So I might not get all of Saturday's up Saturday night. But I'll work on it again Sunday after closing ceremony. With a goal of having everything up by end of Monday. I like how it's starting to look like he has a bit of a twinkle in his eye. Or maybe it always looked like that. I'm just noticing it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's it's pretty. I feel like that's an important part of almost any portrait. Is the little bounced light in the eyeball. It most people don't think about their eyes being wet, but your eyes are in fact wet, which makes them reflect light in sort of a specific way. So that so that's sort of a a thing that just everybody has, but maybe not a lot of people think about. So the next time you're talking to somebody, make sure you get uncomfortably close to them and look for the little white dot in their eye.
Yeah, that probably won't happen.
Probably for the best.
Too close.
And say when you have to do that, it's for most people, it's really fun to see their reactions.
Yeah, but you'll just cause me to continually back up.
Yeah. A while ago, I had to take a nonviolent crisis intervention class, a seminar. And at the time, I was actually teaching at a charter school martial arts. And one of the exercises was you let the other person walk towards you, and when you decided to be when you started feeling uncomfortable, you would tell them to stop. My guy stopped before I told him to.
If I have the German Shepherd with me, people stop really quick when I tell them to.
Yeah. But it was definitely funny because when he got to do it, he stopped his person about 4 feet away from him.
Oh.
Where he stopped from me like about a foot away from me. And I'm like, no, you can keep coming. It probably also didn't help that I was probably at least a half a foot taller than him.
That is sometimes a thing. See, I can get away with that. Doesn't bother me because I've always been short. Everybody's taller than me. I'm like 5'2". Everybody can be tall.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna bother me a bit.
Yeah.
You ever look at things on your desk and go, I don't recall it owning this, and I'm not sure where it came from? Oh, I think this is part of my resin printer stuff. Why is it on my desk? Who's in charge of my room? Oh, James, I made a complete mess of my office looking around for stuff for first graders. And I should have got around to cleaning it before FreedoniaCon, and I didn't. And now it's driving me up a wall. Because nothing is where it belongs. I like... And, okay, this is going to sound weird, James, and maybe I'm crazy. It kind of looks on the ropes like there are crystals, but maybe those are supposed to be the knots.
Those are going to be the knots. Yeah.
Okay. It just seemed like that would be cool. Little crystals in the rope. But the knots are what he said, so, you know, hey.
Yeah, I do like. I agree with you. I think the crystal would be cool, but I don't know how he would be able to make them. That would be the only problem. Yeah, I definitely like the one smile line you gave him. That is very cool.
Sort of thinking back to my 3D knowledge and like polyflow, how the face has to deform around these shapes. So if he's expressive, then chances are one of the the parts of your face that move the most would be sort of up here, around the eyes, and especially around the mouth. So those are the areas that are probably most likely to crack or need just a little bit more flexibility. So you can actually emote. Beef him up just a little bit. We're gonna make him just a little bit more bumpy on the sides because he's again, I'm getting Silver Surfer vibes that are bothering me. So we need to make it just a little more rocky, a little less sleek.
I definitely agree.
Good. Is there any special adornment to the broadsword that's required that we'd be able to see or should have?
Actually, no. It's more for function than style. Yeah, because we spent a lot of time on the road having things that needed constant repair would not really be something that he would keep. That was the one nice thing about having the Throne of Eve is it was self-healing.
It's While we're left, I'm concerned that if I don't start on these knots, we're going to run out of time. Just carry over into tomorrow. Okay, how best to tackle the rope? This might be a thing that maybe the fact that we're working digitally can help us, maybe. So let's give ourselves a layer style stroke. 5 pixels might do. Let's see. Just need it to be black or very dark. I think this is the answer here. Excellent. We're gonna use digital. We're gonna use the digital workflow to our advantage here. That'll be our start. So, and for anybody curious, basically what I told the computer to do was just outline all of the pixels that I'm painting on with black. So rather than having to draw each rope individually by outlining it by sketching around it, we've just skipped right to the we've skipped right to actually reasonably well rendered ropes, which is kind of fun. So the next thing, actually, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to duplicate the layer and then delete the content, but keep the outlining. And then let's see if we can, actually, we might decrease the opacity of our outline. And then, yeah, I might need to, oh, it's not bad. All right. And then we're going to try to give ourselves a little coiled rope situation. I think it might need to be, our outline might need to be a little darker. What we're doing, Sean, is not bad. So if I go to the stroke effect and just turn up the opacity. Do I need that? Maybe I don't. So I just take it away. It's not bad. We'll keep going. We'll see what happens. How's everybody doing? Everybody got real quiet. What's happened?
I was
We are all
watching and
stunned by your
learning.
brilliance.
I mean,
I'm enjoying the commentary as you're explaining it.
Oh,
I was gonna
great,
say,
excellent.
like, how else am I gonna learn to make my stick figures better?
Well, I'll show you if you next time you have Photoshop open, I'll show you how to turn on the layers style then, because you can literally all of a sudden you can just automatically have your stick figures like outlined just like that.
You know, I could take you
Um,
up on that, and then you'd be stuck listening to me. Like, wait, how did I do that again? Where's that button, James? Ask poor Brett. He's had to put up with me. You probably have to show me like 3 times before it'll stick long enough for me to remember it in between. Although I have to make stick figures pretty much daily, so maybe not so bad. I'll get more practice.
any tricks you can pick up.
Right? Because one day I will kick your ass in the art contest. We have to figure out what the art contest is for next year. We should do an art contest again.
We should. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
threatening to. I think I told you I'm threatening to do 3D painting war with Maddie.
Yeah.
You should join in. You'd be surprised how much it's very relaxing. Or at least I try to keep it very relaxing.
Right. I'll let it happen, and if get me the STL or the OBJ file, and I'll paint it in ZBrush.
Oh, honey, you have access to all those. All you have to do is say snap your fingers and I will do that for you.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do another layer.
There's my...
Same thing. We're gonna duplicate the layer. We're gonna delete the contents, and then we're gonna add.
Since Matthew, you've dealt with kids, you'll appreciate this. I bought a bunch of, and I just found them again, of fountain pens, disposable cheap ones, because the kids will occasionally see me with one, because I'll have one with me when I'm subbing, and they're like, "What's that? How's that work?" And so now I end up giving away like a couple a day sometimes. So I just throw extra ones in my bag, giving all these little kids fountain pens. Usually middle school. Middle school's very into it. But I thought you'd get a kick out of the fact that they were fascinated with fountain pens. Because usually they're fascinated with things that have electronic screens.
Yes. Yeah, I find that both things can be true.
They're like, that's one of them
Especially if
like
it's-
old things. I'm like, yeah, it's one of them old things.
Oh, that's perfectly great with the knots.
Excellent. Yeah, I think I might just, after all of this, I might just leave them out because the braiding on the rope just sort of distracts from the knots in a not so
Yeah.
great way. So I think I might just leave it closer to this, and we'll try to do we'll do something else on the ropes. There might be another layout style that I can use to save myself some time. Inner glow, maybe.
Also, he is only a fifth circle, so like if you didn't want to have as many knots, that would not be a bad thing either.
Okay, so not all the ropes have all the knots because he's got
Yes.
he's got more more
Learning
spell
to
book
do.
to yeah.
Yep.
It's not inner glow. Maybe it's bevel and emboss. Let's soft. Got little highlights. That's fine. Multiply. We'll take the way down. Global light is pretty okay. Should be sort of just above. Size maybe smaller. No, the size isn't bad. There we go. Little highlights. Oh, we'll soften it.
Very distinctive. Really makes them prominent.
Well, that's contrast is what draws your eye to things. People naturally, um, one of the ways you choose to, yeah, like areas of focus spaces for your that you want your viewer to focus on, you create areas of higher contrast, and that naturally draws people's eyes, or the viewer's eyes. So naturally, one of the spots to make people's faces more compelling is that that's part of the reason that we do the white dot in the eye, is that the pupil is going to be one of the darkest spots uh, in the whole painting, because it's literally like a black hole into your eyeball, and then you put a white dot next to the black circle, or inside of the black circle. It creates contrast, which naturally we will draw people's eyes towards, but towards your subject's eyes, which will be one of the most important parts of the drawing. So yeah,
Even babies are attracted to contrast.
yeah. Well, it's one of the first things that we can see, is we can differentiate between light and dark.
Well, you know,
Right.
they did an entire line there for a while of black, white, and red, and it was mostly clown themed, baby stuff, because they said that that was like the initial what babies could see.
Absolutely. Big shapes of light and dark. Absolutely.
Creepy. You forgot to mention the creepy part. But clowns
Well,
are creepy.
nobody said. Yeah, I don't think the clowns are scientific in any way at all.
No, they're just creepy. But the black, white, and red apparently is.
Yeah. And additionally, so there's, I mean, there's different ways to guide people's attention around your canvas. Now we're getting into like design principles. Um, Everything about visual art is about like a push and pull between different forces on the page. So, for instance, there's light versus dark. There is hot versus cold. There is saturated versus desaturation. There is repetition versus variation. There is big versus small. And a good piece of art will utilize all of these things to, on a very sort of instinctive, unconscious level, tell you of which parts of the piece are more important than others. It establishes a visual hierarchy on the page that will subconsciously tell people what's important and what's not. So, for instance, we have a ton of stuff going on over the ropes, but it's all basically the same size, and uh, repeated repeated patterns, so repeated shapes, repeated pattern, repeated size. So your brain is able to kind of gloss over a little bit. It sort of treats, because all of these things are repeated. Your brain is sort of able to treat everything in here as like one big thing. And sure, there's a lot going on, but maybe it's not super visually distracting, because it all reads as like one big thing, even though there's all sorts of stuff going on inside it. And so, generally speaking, you want high contrast, light versus dark in the face. So our lightest lights and our darkest darks are going to be all in the face. And anywhere you want to put just a little bit more focus, you grab your lightest light and you put a little. So maybe we'll put a little love into his belt buckle there eventually, probably a little bit into his hands. We put a little bit up here just for the head of the broadsword. Yeah, but now I'm just blathering on.
No, you're educating us. And we're enjoying it. Plus, didn't you win the Sexy Voice Award last night?
Is that a thing?
It is
Sure.
now. So, I mean, we're enjoying it.
Is it spent years working on the bass in my voice.
Now I need you to, sing delicate love songs to my Papillons so that, because, baby making.
Great. Just a little.
It's better than putting Barry White on again. Because I would.
Oh, no. See, let's not say things we can't take back. There's nothing better than Barry White.
That's true. Although we're not being very amorous right now. We're just sitting in my lap. Terrible little guys.
A little careless whispers on or something.
This is very cool. So what other stories do you remember about him, Matt?
Good question.
Sorry.
Has Matt left the chat? Oh no, there I see the green circle going.
No, I'm still here. I'm trying to get my remembrance going on. It's been a long while since I played him.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. Some of my favorite characters' funniest moments were almost always things that were either based on or became like in character, in party jokes. Were there any in character, in party type jokes that were common at that table? Like don't give the windling, a knife, she'll stab somebody in the back. I don't know, something.
Not really.
Those just words to live by. Don't give the windling a knife.
No, I love windlings.
My daughter's Obsidian had 2 windlings in her party, and they would ride on her shoulders, and they called them her windling earrings.
Nice.
That's awesome. Did you have a favorite set of dice you used with this character? Because I know that some of my favorite characters have character-specific dice. That also is a sign that I own too many dice. I'm aware of that.
I do not. I just have a big bag full of dice.
What about favorite color? Does your character have a favorite color?
He actually likes lots of colorful colors.
So he's a rainbow baby.
Yes. Yeah, with the world being as dark as it was, anything that he could do to brighten it up was something that he enjoyed. Now, having said that, I think the most colors that he actually got was more like plant greens and like things like that.
Well, with the the fern armor, that would make some sense.
Well, you also figured at the time period people were more caring about staying alive than decorating the house.
No. Just the poor people.
Yeah, we mainly played out in the plains, so there wasn't a lot of rich people out there.
Can you imagine the joy of seeing plants growing in a devastated area and plants reappearing? That seems awesome to me.
And there's always flowers.
That's kind of a fun thing. Should his fern armor have flowers? That could be fun.
He sounds like the type who would have flowers on his fern armor. Colorful joy, pretty.
Yeah. I do believe there's an actual threaded set of fernweave that does actually have flowers on it.
So are we doing this, or is that not lore accurate?
Matthew?
For me, I figured like for this, it would be more of like having like some of the green leaves like outlined in red would probably be the
Sort of more like a,
most decorative.
what's the word? Like the sort of like a variegated leaf.
Yes.
Okay.
Fernweave is living and it's a magical plant, so I could think it would be influenced by the aura or the pattern of the individual wearing it.
I always thought so. I like to allow, because I had some people who wanted flowers on theirs, or even that it could grow fruit. And I was like, why not? At the table, not necessarily in the books, but at the table. Middle of battle, you pop on a grape. That's okay. That's fine. It's a big joke with the troll ones. You know, they get hungry.
If it's growing grapes, does that make it vine weave?
I would accept that answer as well.
But it'd be a great thread item.
Just saying, there was a troll. It was basically, it was for fun. It didn't really affect, gameplay balance. But like in the middle of combat, grapes or a berry or an apple or some silliness. He just plucked it off his armor and was eating it while he made snarky taunt moments.
So I just need 2 seconds for the feeling to come back into my fingers.
Did we break you?
No, I must have my Cintiq at sort of a jaunty angle that I'm not used to, because every so often my my fingers are getting tingly.
Well, don't break you. We need you.
That's right. We will soldier onwards. If it doesn't come back in like 5 seconds when I take a break, then I'll start to worry.
Okay.
I might try to do the same thing with the leaves that we did with the ropes. I think that's going to be our best bet. This also has bevel and emboss on it. So I'm like, this is more than just a stroke. Let's see if we can do little bits of this as well.
So, have you remembered any cool stories to tell?
Unfortunately, not.
Well, let's make up some cool stories.
What?
Well, I know in the campaign we actually did have another traveling merchant that we would occasionally run into, and I think we were working on trying to figure out if he was an actual horror himself, or was he actually just someone out there trying to do good like we were.
What'd you
I
decide?
don't think we ever figured out which one it was.
Oh, you never figured it
I
out.
don't think we ever figured it out.
You know, sometimes those ambiguous NPCs are a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a gift bringer type feel. And unfortunately, the GM who was doing it, it could very well have been gift bringer for all we knew. Yeah, we had a habit with his campaign to start with one thing, and then when he gave us like a choice, we always picked the one that he wasn't expecting. And so he would have to redo the whole campaign based on what we chose, which was always a very fun thing to find out about that. Because after we found out, we're like, but it seemed like you were pushing us in this direction. He's like, no, I was trying to push you in the opposite direction. But for some reason, we always picked that way.
It's kind of interesting from a GM perspective, which people, which players, and how they react to certain things. Until you kind of get to know them better, it can be a bit of a guessing game, which is fun while you're trying to figure it out. But you know, has moments.
Yeah. This time around, we had been gaming together like 5-6 years already. So.
Well, then he should have been able to guess better.
Yeah.
Or he just wanted you to think you outsmarted him.
Oh, we weren't even thinking of outsmarting him at all. One of the his main campaign that I remember was we were sent to investigate, and this was a different game. This one group, and we got there, and we're trying to investigate, and they're like, "Hey, you guys should join us. Here's all the benefits," and we went, "Huh, those are pretty good benefits. Okay, we'll sign up." And we were not supposed to join them.
Well, then why give them such great benefits? Silly. Should have been like, oh, these guys suck. Their dental, horrible. No dentist in town even takes it. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You can't give them all the cool benefits and then be like, well, I don't know why you joined. Because you gave me 1 billion gold. Oh, right, that was why.
Yeah. I guess one of the stories that I do remember of his, towards the end of when I started playing, we did come in and save this one town, and the mayor's kid was so smitten that he asked to join us, and we're like, yeah, sure, come on with us. I think we were supposed to have told him no, but we invited them anyways. So that was fun.
I used to run a campaign ages ago where I was famous for murdering NPCs that my players loved, and they one of the missions they had to do, they actually had to save this orc child that really bonded with one of the characters. Like there were full bits where he was like riding around on this great big orc's shoulders, and stuff at the end. At the end, like the whole party was like, "Oh my god, we need to take him with us." And the player totally metagamed. And it was like, "Yeah, no, okay, seriously, if I if we ask him to come, he's gonna come, and then James is just gonna murder him later." And I was like, I'm not going to murder him anything. All right. If you want to bring this child along on your adventures, that's on you. I'm not going to guarantee his safety. Anyway, that was a fond memory.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
Ruthless GM.
Yeah. Me, I do kind of similar but different. I like to make the players invest in all of these interesting NPCs and then go, okay, what are you going to pay to keep that NPC safe? So, and that I always have fun doing because
So
normally it's
is that like in-game currency, or do they have to pay you off in real life? Because that could be a fun way to make some money.
in-game currency. Um, it's definitely fun because it definitely helps move things along. When it's like, oh yeah, this person is in danger, but you can save them if you go over here and get this thing.
Sure.
Which makes everything feel less railroading. Because they're doing it themselves to try to save that NPC. Yeah, my favorite one of that is when I had a PC's mother come back in a different form. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
How long did it take
What
for
was
them to recognize her?
Yeah.
Right away. It was oh my gosh, there's this monster, we got to kill it. And then all of a sudden I started talking to them.
Oh.
And like, oh, wait a minute. That I think is my mom. Oh crap. And so it was fun seeing them trying to protect what it came back as. I enjoyed myself. The
This all
players,
feels very familiar.
maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I know. I liked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, I got the idea from like a side thing in the Crawling book, actually. I was so impressed with the idea. I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to be a throwaway. This is going to be like a major piece.
I think yours is the first time I've ever gotten to actually play 4th Ed. I'd ran it, but I hadn't gotten to play it.
Yeah.
Story of my existence. I ran that. Play? What is this play you speak of? Oh, that whip's looking wicked.
Yeah, we're working. I seem to be working our way from the top to the bottom. So yeah, we're almost at the whip stage here.
Yeah, but the whole thing's just coming together really well.
Definitely.
Well, that's why we try to minimize reworking by doing those vibe checks intermittently, because if you don't get the foundation correct, no amount of fancy rope knots or anything on top of it is going to fix it if the underlying stuff doesn't work for you. So once you get those foundation pieces in, it hopefully with each step it gets harder to mess it up once the big pieces are looking correct and in place.
Yeah, he's coming out so well that if I ever get that campaign up and going, he's going to become a major NPC. Which might actually be able to be done. So. He's turning out very, very well.
I'm super happy. It's always really nice to hear that, because I know uh, I mean, not here specifically, because I do mostly NPCs, but when doing sort of commissions for people who don't know me, who might be coming from any particular game, like I have, like, I play these games, so I know how important these characters can be to the people who create them and play them. So it's always very, very nice to feel to feel like, okay, because you well, like I said, not necessarily here because I'm doing it just because you're awesome and did some really great work for us, so this is more of a thank you. But when like people just randomly, well, not randomly, but on the internet, people I don't, what am I trying to say? I'm trying
What
to
I was
say it
trying to
feels
say
like
is his commissions are
uh,
open, and feel free to email him about setting up time to do a commission. There you go, James. I got you.
thank you. I was going to say the amount of trust, I think, that it involves, like a person who I've never worked with before, is, spending real dollars, for me to work with this character that means potentially a great deal to them. So anyway, it always feels very, very nice when the person feels like, yeah, nope, that's him or her, or whoever. So it just feels nice.
Yeah, I have seen you make multiple characters like this, and it gives me goosebumps every time.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you keep coming back. That's
I'm glad you
Yes.
helped out.
Mhm.
Well, I am not going anywhere. Help is always available.
So, James, do you have a favorite name giver that you like drawing?
Ooh. Um, well, like I said last night, I've been in a big orc phase for the better part of a year. Um, so mm, I also said last night that I find ugly faces more interesting to draw than sort of classically beautiful faces. So I also like trolls. I mean, they're all fun in their own way. Um, it's just about finding ways of making them interesting, giving them character. But trolls also fun. Um, dwarves when they have epic beards, that's always fun too. One of the characters we were making for the bestiary was a windling. I enjoyed working with her, but she
Yeah,
also had
that's
a
she had a brother who was a troll,
yes, she
adopted
had
brother.
like an adopted brother who was a troll.
I still, I mean, I liked what that's the direction I would like to see a Windling done because I thought she was adorable.
I thought she was too. I mean, the some of the artwork that I've seen from the past, they almost look like they're done up like cave people. Like they're very primitive, and that's I mean, I don't want to go against lore, but I was never really down with that. I think Windling should be like could be like refined, revered, maybe even for their craft, for their craftsmanship, like how like it's probably a big prestige piece in your wardrobe if you like imagine the embroidery that they could do on like a full sized garment. So they have
Oh yeah, it
so
would be so
they should be able,
tiny,
they should have really fine
such
things
delicate
as
little.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading something about they were talking about like a famous Wendling jeweler, and they were famous for the intricacies of the jewelry. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I think that should be. I think they're teeny tiny little fingers just do the finest stitching.
hmm so yeah, there's definitely stuff out there that is canon that has that stuff about that. So,
I suddenly realized I had forgotten about the Dyer tattoo. So let's do that while we still have 15 minutes. We got time. All right. What do I do? All right, I got an idea. Layer, turn on symmetry. We're just gonna look at this on its own for a second. Sorry, I gotta look at the thing again.
That looks nothing like what I drew.
Well, we can't all be stick figure masters. Oh, did I just draw this on? I did. Oh, that's a shame. I just mucked up my layers. That's all right, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna just delete half, merge these layers, duplicate. Come on now. And then merge. There we go. Back to one layer. So how do we turn this into like a stylized tattoo? We should have done this on its own layer because now I'm going to have to deal with my original sketch, but that's okay. Is that a little?
What do you think, Matt?
That is definitely very interesting.
It's very tribal.
Yeah, definitely.
I forgot I was still in symmetry mode. There we go. Just turn that on. Now we'll bring everything back and see if we can make it work.
Can't hear anything.
All right, so I seem to have covered up a bunch of his arm with, just gonna duplicate this so we can go back to the original if we want. Put it on his arm. It's a little not that, whatever that was. Warp, there we go. Just gonna turn our shape into a cylinder.
That is utterly amazing.
Well, it's a nice way to work because it lets me draw it like in sort of an orthographic view where I don't need to worry about the curvature of the arm or the angle we're looking at it, so I can make it symmetrical without yeah, and then yeah, warp it warp it to the arm. So what I might do, just because I'm finding it a little, I put some stuff in front of me. We just need to get rid of those vines. I gotta find out what layer I put them on. Oh, they're in a few layers. All right, that's a shame. This is why, especially when you're trying to work fast, keeping your layers organized is better.
Well, having like some of the vines over it, I think would actually be kind of cool too.
Absolutely, but what I think I would like to do if we got time, I got like 5 minutes, so we'll make it fast. I'd like to get it on his arm, and then we'll draw the vines back over it so that it still reads clearly as well as clear as it can. It's sort of an abstracted. It's sort of an abstracted thing as it is, but to be as clear as possible what it is. We'll all know. Actually, oh no, actually it's behind more vines, so I don't have to get rid of it all. These shapes are actually in front of it. So I feel like maybe the going darker isn't bad. Would he have painted it so that it would be like lighter on his skin, maybe? It doesn't. I don't think we have time to delve that deeply into it.
I was actually kind of thinking, like, if we did happen to get color, of having that being like a nice bright something.
Okay. Well, we can
to-
make it. We can make it. What can we do? Instead of multiply, I can dodge, make it light.
Yeah. You figure him and everything else would be more like in gray, like grays and browns and greens, and having that be something like completely different. But yeah, that looks really good.
Some last minute doodads here and there, but it's darker just in general. Lots of cast shadows from those leaves. Didn't get to do much with the belt buckle. I got distracted by other things. These. Oh, that's a lot of layer. Alrighty. I think that's what we got the time for. So thank you, Matt, for everything that you do for us. Thank you for everybody who's come in and joined and stayed with us.
That is amazing.
Well, as always, James, your work is phenomenal. Matthew, I hope you like it, and I really want to thank you again for all the help.
This is awesome.
That is what we want to hear. All right, James, say goodbye, and I'll stop the recording.
Goodbye, everybody. It's been great. Thank you so much for watching.